Welcome to CRM 7 video training. In this training, we are going to talk you through how to do basic customizing in CRM 7 and also discuss how CRM 7 may be put to productive use. This session is about giving you an overview of CRM 7. How do you log into CRM 7? How do you navigate around the web client? How do you search for a specific business partner? And so on and so forth. The usual copyright notice. Kindly do not make any unauthorized copies of this material. This gives you an overview of the whole course content. We will cover 12 topics in this course, starting with this one, which is about the CRM 7 overview. Then we'll go on to account management, which teaches you how to manage the business partners within CRM, how to do their customizing settings, and how to enable them to be transferred to the backend ECC system. Then we'll talk about organizational management, which is kind of the core functionality of CRM and affects everything from transaction processing to backend replication to master data. After that, we'll talk about product master, which after customer master is probably the most important master data within CRM. We will talk about how to create set types and attributes, what are the different material types available to you in CRM, how to price a product, and so on. That will be followed by transaction processing, wherein we talk about different transactions like quotations, service contracts, sales orders, the different components of a transaction, the item categories, and so on. One specific type of transaction which is very important from a CRM perspective is activity management. And in this session we will talk more in detail about what are activities, how are they used in a live environment, and how do you customize them. Then we'll move on to partner processing, which talks about the various business partners within a transaction. How do you configure them? How do you ensure that the right partner is selected in the right transaction? Another important topic and unique to CRM is actions. With the help of actions, you can automatically trigger, for example, an email to a customer, a printout, and you can even create another transaction in the background. An example being, if a customer's contract is coming to an end, the system can automatically trigger an action to remind them about the renewal. Then we move on to pricing and see how you get the right price for the right customer within a transaction. How do you calculate the taxes accurately, give the right discounts, and how you exchange condition types within the SAP landscape. So with mobile clients, for example, with the backend ECC system, etc. CRM billing will be covered after that. And CRM billing allows you to bill from within CRM rather than billing from SD in ECC, for example. So we'll see things like what is a billing unit, what customizing settings are required to enable CRM billing to happen. CRM middleware will be covered next. CRM middleware is essentially an out-of-the-box software component that comes with CRM and enables CRM to exchange master data and transaction data with the backend ECC system. It also allows CRM to talk to mobile clients and to third-party systems. And the last chapter will be taking a closer look at the web client UI. With CRM 7, the web client UI is become more functionally rich and important from a consulting viewpoint and from an end user viewpoint. To start with, let us look at the architecture of SAP CRM. Where does CRM fit into the larger SAP landscape as well as the larger IT landscape within a client? The SAP CRM system is a key part of the business suite and contains a central CRM server that can be used to access the system via multiple channels. The CRM server can also be connected to the other systems. The CRM application is fully integrated with the backend ERP system, also called the ECC system now. It is connected to the BI system, which is the business intelligence or business warehouse system, and it is also fully connected to the SCM system, which is the supply chain management used for availability checks and demand planning. In a project, you will usually find the CRM system working alongside the BI and the SCM system. So let us take a closer look at these two systems. CRM middleware is the primary device for the data exchange between the CRM system and the connected ERP system. On the ERP side, there is a plugin installed that takes the data from the CRM middleware and transforms that into data that ERP can understand. The data exchange normally includes an initial transfer of customizing data, master data, and transaction data to the CRM system. That is followed by a delta reconciliation of the master data and transaction data in both directions. This enables the data to be consistent throughout the SAP landscape. With the CRM web client being so functionally rich, one may ask the question, what is the role of the SAP GUI? SAP GUI is essentially used for administrators and for customizing activities. For end users, SAP recommends the use of web client only. Some of the admin activities that are carried on in the SAP GUI are things like ABAP workbench coding, workflow management, user creation, system monitoring, and so on. So in this training, our focus will be on the web client, and we will use the SAP GUI only while demonstrating the customizing aspects of the system. Another question commonly asked by people who are new to SAP is, what is customizing and how is customizing different from coding? Customizing can be thought of as parameterization of the system, which basically means you are given a set of drop downs, given a set of functionality, and you have to choose the right bits from that set as per your business requirements. There is no coding involved. You do not have to write anything in ABAP 4 or Java or any other programming language, but you need to understand the business process and make the parameterization appropriate for that. So that kind of gives you a high level overview of what CRM is all about. Let us now look at the actual web client and try to navigate through the web client by logging on to the SAP GUI first, and also have a look at certain features and functionalities of the web client. If everything is installed properly on your computer, when you try to log on to SAP, you will see a screen like this, and here you'll have the list of systems that you could log on to. In our case, we have only one system, which is the IDIS system. The IDIS system is used worldwide for training on SAP, and we will use this system throughout our training. So you click on log on and you come to a screen like this, wherein you enter your user ID and password, and then you see the standard SAP landing screen. Now here under favorites, you see I already have the web client, so I will just delete this now so that I can show you how to set up the web client as your favorite in the menu. So you click on favorites, press the right button, add other objects. We are going to be adding a BSP application. BSP stands for Business Server Pages and is the SAP's technology for the web client. So the application we want is CRM underscore UI underscore frame. Description is web client, and the start page is default.html. And now when I double click on this, I go to the web client login page. Now if you see, this login page is very similar to the one we saw earlier for logging on to the SAP GUI. The difference being this is in a browser. This is the URL for logging on to the SAP CRM system. Now I enter my user ID and password again, and press the logon button. I get this message saying I could have logged on directly using the client here. Now if you have the so-called SSO tickets on, SSO is the single sign-on ticket, then once you log on to the SAP GUI, you would no longer need to log in to the web client again by entering your user ID and password. You would get in straight away. So now I have saved the URL in my favorites. So when I click it, I get the same logon screen as we did when we launched it from the SAP GUI. Now after logging in successfully, what I see is this whole host of business roles, and CRM is asking me to select one of them. Now typically in a live system, a user would be presented with one or a maximum a couple of roles to choose from. Now we are seeing all the roles because of a special setting that we have made. We can have a look at this setting in the SAP GUI. So I go to the user maintenance using transaction SU01, and then I go to parameters, and in the parameters you see there is an ID CRM underscore UI underscore profile, and the value is a star. Now this value means whatever roles have been defined in the system will be presented to the user when they log in. As an example, if I were to change this to say Service Pro, save it, and now if I try to log in to the web client again, I should not see any of these roles, but I should see only the Service Pro role. So let's give it a go. I'll try to refresh this. So the CRM system is being restarted, and I am directly into the main screen of the web client UI. Now the system did not ask me to select any role because it assigned to me the role directly from my user parameters. Now if I want to make sure what role have I logged in as, I go to personalize, and then go to personalize my data, and this is where I see that I'm logged in as a service professional. Now for our purpose, we will need to access a couple of roles, so we will just reset our setting to what it was originally. So we're back again, and we get the message that we have logged this user because on the web client we are already doing some personalization settings. So we say OK, and now that message has not come because on the web client we are out of it. I replace it with a star, save, go back to the web client, and now if I refresh this again, I see a whole host of business roles. So I log in with the Sales Pro role, and this is the familiar landing page. This is an L-shaped structure. On the left hand side you see the navigation bar with its different links, and on the top you see various URLs linking you to Help Center, System News, Personalize, and so forth. So let's see now how we can adapt the web client UI to our requirements. So I click on Personalize like I did before, just to confirm the role I am in, which is Sales Professional. If I click on Personalize the layout, currently I have a skin called Nova, which is the default, but I might want to change it to say New Hope, and lo and behold, the skin has changed. I can alter my text size, and there are different performance settings. So we will not save anything right now, but we will have a look at other settings. So let us now try to personalize this navigation bar here. So if you see, the displayed links are appointment, interaction log, task, email, contact, and quotation, which is what you see here. If I were to add lead and opportunity and save, hopefully these two will appear together with the others on the left hand side navigation bar. So there you see lead and opportunity. Some other settings, I can choose my date format, my time format, and my decimal notation, for example. This section is about groupware integration. Basically, your calendar in CRM can be synchronized with your Microsoft Outlook or Lotus Notes calendar, and these are the settings for that. You can also set up your favorite CRM links. So let's have a look at some navigational elements that a user would typically use. So account management, let's try to search for an account. This is the search criteria. We can search for corporate accounts, individuals, or groups. These are the three different kinds of business partners available in CRM, and we will learn more about these in the chapters on business partners. So let me choose Mega Store. I do not know the initials for Megastore, so I'm using a wildcard asterisk Megastore. So the system should now return all the accounts which have their last name as Megastore. So I hit on the search and I get a list of 66 accounts. Now as you can see, there are various details for each one of those. And if I want to see more fields without moving from this screen, I again can personalize. So say I do not wish to see the postal code. The postal code is here. I take it out. Instead of that, I might want to see the search term, for example. I move it to the displayed columns and I save, and here I get the search term and the other field is disappeared. So this is how you are able to personalize the screen and display the relevant information that you really need to carry on with your business process. Now I've clicked on the Excel button here. This essentially allows me to save this result list, these 66 accounts, into an Excel sheet for further manipulation or for sending it on to another part of the business. The chart button helps me do a quick analysis without having to use any external BW reports. So if I press on the chart button and I scroll down, I'll see the information displayed as a chart from the table. So let's select the street as a parameter, and I find that there are two streets that all the customers belong to, and here they are represented by a pie chart. If I want a bar chart instead, this is a bar chart. So this is a kind of a quick analysis that the system allows you to do as an end user. Now if I frequently use the same search over and over again, I could potentially save this search. So let me try to save this as Mega Store. I save, and I see that my save search has appeared here. So now if I clear this and I simply select Megastore and go, I get the same 66 accounts that I had earlier. So having seen these, let us take a quick look at some of the standard navigational links in the nav bar. This is my home page where I come to when I initially log in. This can of course be customized and personalized based on requirements. This typically shows you the activities for the day, so your appointments, tasks, any alerts, saved searches. Then you have the work list, which might contain another list of tasks related to workflows. So if I am the marketing manager, I might be required to approve any campaign over a certain budget limit, for example. Then I have the calendar. This is especially useful if the synchronization between your Outlook calendar and CRM activities is on, so you can see everything at one place. My work emails related to CRM. This requires specific settings, so we are not able to see it now. Then you have the account management, which we saw just now around searching for a Megastore customer and saving the search. Activities are something we will take a closer look in a subsequent chapter. Sales cycle, herein you can create rebates, campaigns, quotations, sales orders, all the transactions related to sales. Pipeline performance is typically used for measuring the performance of a chain, a distribution chain with dealers, super dealers, retailers involved throughout. Sales operations is all the backend data, creating products, creating pricing, employee details, billing, and so on and so forth. So let's look at the products, for example. So herein you can create a new product or a new service. So if I were to create a new service, for example, I will need to select the ID, the base category, the unit, and so on. And then we have the reports. This might give me any alerts or any key reports like related to logistics, how many units got shipped out yesterday, and so on and so forth. And the dashboard is essentially, there is nothing available in the standard system, but this kind of presents the data from the reports in a more graphical format. So that, I hope, gave you a good idea about how to log into CRM web client as well as the SAP GUI and the various settings you can make on the user interface for the CRM web client.